Here's a smart man that'll maybe give us some insight into all of this. As I said earlier, a classmate and graduate of mine from that esteemed institution, West Virginia Wesleyan College, the Harvard of the South. And Dr. Miller, I wore my West Virginia Wesleyan that the president of that university gave me years ago, just in your honor, sir. Welcome.
Very good. Good to join you guys.
Vice Mayor from Virginia Beach, Jim Miller's with us as well.
Good to see you, Jim.
Great. Anyway, great. I know how busy you are and all these things that are going on. So I'm going to let you take it right now. How is campus life? Because I don't know if you heard Wood. He gave his vision of it from an athletic standpoint as well as academics. Going to go back to normal at Virginia Wesleyan.
Well, for the fall, we're still uncertain on athletics. So the NCAA has not been very helpful. And I think our athletic conference, the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, is looking for some guidance from the NCAA. So athletically, we're still having a number of discussions there. It is our intent to open in person on August the 26th. Instead of having new student orientation staggered as it has been in the past in May, June, and July, we're going to take the 2 days prior to August the 26th and do in-person orientation for first years then, and then open the school year in person on the 26th.
Is that a Monday?
It's a Wednesday, I believe. If for some reason there's a spike during the summer that would disrupt our plans, we have several backup plans. We could shift the start to October the 1st. We will also be prepared to have classes. Our number 2 option really is a hybrid model where the first 6 or 7 weeks could be in a remote format and the last 7 or 8 weeks of the semester, in person. Or even, since we have VWU online, we could, as a last resort, offer classes in an online format. But at a school like ours, a residential liberal arts college, where people are coming here to live in Virginia Beach, to take advantage of the amenities that are here, to live and learn in a community that has so many resources, it is our hope that we can safely open on August the 26th.
I'm sure that you had a lot of that discussion going on at your Board of Trustees meeting this morning.
Right.
What was the insight and the feeling and the consensus of that team?
Well, our board is made up of 36 individuals that are business people, leaders in all professions, and we had a good, healthy dialogue on what the start of the academic year could look like. We're not going to come out and go 110 miles an hour if we can't do it safely. Safety is number one. And yes, there is the economic impact to the business side of our operation, but we realize that college campuses can be a breeding ground for coronavirus, and we want to make sure that everything that we're doing safely. We are fortunate to have some experts involved in the equation. So the CEO of Centera is on our board, and our health center on campus is a contract service with Centera. Our athletic training sports medicine program is a contract service with Centera. So we have some of the best minds giving us advice from the Centera system, which has been a tremendous asset. We have our food service is a national provider, Sodexo. They've already come out with their instructions, and the big item that stuck out right away is that you're not going to see salad bars in any dining facility soon. It's going to be different how you package and how many people are eating in the cafeteria. And then our facilities management operation is also a contract service with Aramark, a national provider, and they're already addressing things of how we handle cleanliness and safety issues in residence halls, in classrooms, and in offices as well. So we're taking the time now to plan very carefully. We do anticipate to be able to open safely at the end of August, but again, safety is the number one priority for us.
The soccer team, I mean, you have so many good athletic programs.
Yeah.
That gym is just beautiful. I get Town Bank gave you $1 million or something.
Yeah.
Morgan Davis was just here a couple weeks ago.
What a good friend. Right.
4 or 5 weeks. Oh yeah, he's a great buddy of mine. Love him. But your athletic teams. I don't know if you heard what Wood Selig said, but what are you envisioning?
Well, in one regard, we're fortunate not to have football because that seems to be the centerpiece of all the discussions with the NCAA right now. Our fall sports programs, men's and women's soccer, women's field hockey, men's and women's cross country, volleyball. Those are sports where there is incidental contact, but at the same time, it poses a very interesting health and safety concern. And that's where we're really looking for some guidance, some assistance from our conference and the NCAA as well. It's a very legitimate concern for all. And we're approaching and we're listening to what everybody has to say. We have 8 organizations that are regularly weighing in with us on options, and we'll make the best decisions at the right time to operate in a safe and efficient manner.
So this kind of goes back to what Wood was saying when he was talking about conference realignment and that sort of thing. And you're fortunate because you're ODAC.
Right.
So predominantly you've got powerhouses like Washington and Lee and the other schools. And I don't know what the other ones are. Just kidding.
Washington and Lee, that's where he went, Scott.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got W&L, Hampton, Sydney, Emory, and Henry, all of the Virginia schools.
And you know who's won more national championships than any of those? Right here is Virginia Beach. What I will say about those institutions, the 14 schools in the ODAC, while we are intense competitors on the athletic fields and on the courts, we are cooperative friends when it comes to issues like this. And I told our board this morning that something that really impressed me is that the 14 or 15 presidents from the ODAC schools, the Virginia Foundation of Independent Colleges institutions, the 15 presidents are regularly in dialogue, and they're saying to each other, here are some best practices items that we picked up that we think can help the rest of the group. So when you have 15 experienced college presidents of like-minded institutions that are sharing information, that are talking out solutions, yes, we hate each other when it comes to athletics, but in a crisis situation like this, the spirit of cooperation has absolutely been phenomenal, and it speaks to the spirit of the Commonwealth.
Yes, I didn't know that all the schools in the ODAC are all Virginia schools?
We have Guilford out of North Carolina, and that's the only out-of-state institution in the ODAC.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The how has the video teaching, training, the classroom sessions been going? Because I guess you've probably done a bunch of these video conferences. Was your Board of Trustees meeting today in person?
Yeah, entirely.
In person?
We excuse me?
Was it in person or video?
No, entirely in Zoom.
In Zoom. Gotcha.
And
Okay.
36 people on Zoom, and it was a new experience for them, and naturally, but it did go very well. To have 3 hours of one meeting on Zoom was an interesting experience for all.
Good.
But we kicked off in 2017. We started an online division that's called VWU Online, where for older adults, we're offering graduate degrees and degree completion programs. And as a part of that, we started training in 2017 for our faculty, telling them all that at some point we expected them to be teaching in our online program. And so for the last 3 years, using outside consultation, we've been educating our faculty in how to take outstanding classroom teachers and move their programs to an online format. So when it became evident in March that we were going to be finishing the semester in a remote model, most of them responded pretty well to it and have been extremely effective with it. And I appreciate the fact that they flipped on a dime and converted their classes to the online format, because it's been extremely helpful to our students and to the institution. And one thing that I've also been impressed with we opened registration for summer school this year in an online format, and our pre-registration for summer school is twice as large as what it was last year, which was a record year. So our students apparently are adapting to the transition well, and are going to take advantage of some social isolation to work on their studies, which is encouraging also.
Dr. Miller, Dr. Miller, it's hard for me not to call you Scott. I mean,
Yeah.
we went to college 4 years together at school, and we probably got some stories that we could share that will be just kept between you and I.
Oh, I thought we always saw each other in the library.
Yes, exactly. The $1 million question, I can't understand this. Is like in the elementary and high schools and in colleges. I mean, what do they do? Are they still going to graduate and move up? Freshmen go to sophomores and so on and so forth, first grade to second grade?
I think most states are being reasonable about this, and they have reasonable mechanisms in place to assist schools at the public level. I think we all understand that these last few months, it's been a crisis and a response to an emergency, and hopefully isn't going to be something that's there for years. I think most are optimistic that a 12 to 18 month period will bring this into containment. But, we're all in this together, and we need to look at reasonable ways to work together to provide practical solutions and to help each other. And I've seen and heard many different ways that public school teachers are still working with their students, even in a remote format. And that's encouraging as well.
Let's talk about the financial strain. First of all, are you going to have more or less students, status quo? And how much of a burden are you going to have to dip into the endowment of the university?
Yeah, we have not had to dip into our reserves or into the endowment. We have been building the last 4 years in particular, reserves that are considered to be appropriate for a school of our size and operating budget. So, generally a school like us, without if classes were to stop today, the good schools want to have 3 or 4 months of unrestricted reserves in the bank. And so we've been fortunate in that regard. We did get some stimulus money that has helped also. Also, we have some wonderful donors who, recognizing that these are challenging times, have reached out and really underscored and helped with some major support as well. So, we financially have fielded things very well. We're a solid institution and will be moving forward. I think most of the schools will tell you that they have handled the spring well, but if you go into the next academic year and have another disruption or two, that could have an impact on their business model. So, we are very cautious and paying attention to all the safety issues, because we don't want to have those disruptions next year. We would rather be slower opening and handle it in a methodical way that provides a safe environment than to open up and all of a sudden have a spike occur again.
We talked about that with wood ceiling. God forbid if something happened in September and they were already into the football season, they were already into the classes, and I guess then everybody just throws the brakes on it. We start all over and we're back to video classes. The seasons are canceled. He said that in California, they canceled all sports and classes till January. A sad ending for our graduating students this year is that the spring athletes lost their season halfway through. And, we have won 2 national championships in women's softball in particular. Yay.
And, finished 4 regular seasons in a row as the #1 team in the country. And we were 11-1 and have the young lady, Hannah Hall, who has just won the Norfolk Sports Award as the top senior athlete in the area. This is a young lady who is 16 wins away from being the winningest pitcher in NCAA history, and her season was just taken away from her. And students are scrambling right now. The NCAA has said they would give the spring sports another year of eligibility. A number of those seniors are saying, I might come back as a graduate student next year so that I can play my senior year all over again. It's no secret, athletics is important to students. And when at the Division III level, it's a wonderful opportunity to recruit and retain students, but the competitive level and all, I understand where students are coming from, wanting to come back for that final year and finish the right way.
We're going to wrap up now, Dr. Miller. You're awfully nice to come on. By the way, Jody, your assistant, she's just a dream.
Great
assistant. She was so kind to me and lining all this up. And when this is all over, I haven't caught up with you in years.
That'd be good.
I'm going to email you, and hopefully late in the summer, you and I can get together for.
Sounds great. Thank you, Gus.